Welcome to the first of a few videos I'm going to make of the early days of Bubbers. So this particular, these clips are from basically the first 12 months of business. Here I am out on Main North Road. So I started the business basically detailing car yards out on Main North Road. Washing yards. So I started with a hose and a bucket and a chamois pretty much. And that was it. I would wash hundreds of cars a day. Not the most ideal. It looks like it's raining when I was making this video, but so it was really full on hours. Straight at the start of the business, I would just work, all hours of the day and the night cleaning these cars. But that was where I started, humble beginnings. And I would eventually start bringing my gear, more and more gear with me, as I, save money, and I'd start on this particular yard. I'd start detailing the cars that they would get in for sale, the trade-ins and the cars they would buy. Because the reason I basically did that was because the detailers that these people had to detail their cars, they would keep caking them in silicone. All the plastic trims on the outside and that, they would just put this, gluey, tire shiny stuff all over them all the time for the photos, and it would always get in my chamois when I cleaned the yards, and it really annoyed me. So I said, well, while I'm here anyway, why don't I just start cleaning these cars for you? And that's what I do. I got a little vacuum and come on the yard and just set up. I have a whole carload of gear. This particular car was gross. It had mold all through it. They were like, can you do anything about this? So yeah, I think it was at this point I bought a little wet vac and just doused all these seats and carpets in fabric cleaner and left it. Came back the next day and I left the car to air out for them, and that's what I'd do. I'd go and work on these cars just because I wanted them to look good, and it frustrated me when they'd get done, they'd pay money to have them done, and there's certain things that you can do as a detailer to kind of cheat, so to speak. As I mentioned before, caking everything in silicone, shiny stuff, making it look good, and then a couple of weeks down the track it would just be caked in dust and dirt, and that sort of thing just really kind of frustrated me. So this was hard work, but I enjoyed it, and that's where I started. So that went on for a little while, and just this video here, it's just another car I did. So most of them would be kind of this caliber of car, for the budget kind of buyer, and that was great, and that's where I started. And then we'd go. So I started doing some family and friends cars. So this is in the garage at home. Then I kind of converted. I was never home at the start. I was always out on the yards, and to kind of bring it back, get some sort of balance back, I would start to do cars at home, and I'd be home more, and I enjoyed that because it was tough being out alone on the road all the time. And at home I'd have my dog there and my partner, and it was much better situation. Still working so many hours, but so this is where it went from there. Eventually the car yards kind of went away. I stopped doing the yards because it would take me so much time, and it wasn't really worth that time investment anymore, because I was starting to get clients come to me, and I was starting to get referrals, and yeah, I was just do good jobs. I think this is the only car ever that I couldn't fit in my garage. It had that big rig on the back of it, big tradie bus. Yeah, so I would do all sorts of different things. Yeah, this was one of them. You know, I climbed up on the back of that thing, detailed the inside of it. Yeah, so just a quick view of the types of jobs that I did to start off. This was another friend's car. He was preparing it for sale, if my memory serves right. And yeah, I detailed them for these people, and I loved it. Again, because I was spending more time at home, and it was a little bit more comfortable for me. And yeah, I didn't have to run around, cleaning hundreds of cars a day. I could just focus on, learning my craft. I've been detailing cars for 10 years and I'm still kind of scratching the surface to what there is to learn. I know there's so much to learn in this field. And yeah, we're just getting there. So, this is where I began. I'm pretty sure this is still in the first year or so. I don't have dates on these videos, but I'm pretty sure this was, kind of still real early days. Then eventually the Porsche dealership contacted me, and I went back. I used to work for Porsche a few years back, and they wanted me to subcontract out some detailing work. They weren't really happy with the detailer that I had, and so I'd come to Porsche and detail these cars. So this was a continuation of kind of the cheaper cars that I would detail up north, and then all of a sudden I had the opportunity to work on these things, and it was really fun. I really appreciated the opportunity to go back to Porsche and start doing what I do best for them, and it made me feel good. So I'd eventually start bringing these cars home, working them in the garage. It was a bit more convenient for Porsche, and yeah, there wasn't as much room there like at the dealership that I'd hoped. So I said, I'll set up my workshop, and that's what I'd do. I'd work on these cars. These cars would take me pretty much from about 5 to 8 hours roughly, sometimes more. Some cars have taken me up to 12 hours, so it depends. But this is kind of the game now that I work on, fully detailing these cars up to showroom standard. And this is what I've done for probably a few years now, since the yard stopped, and even through last year, through COVID. We got through. It was a little bit quieter, but we pushed through, and we're still doing it today. So I think the video is nearly wrapping up. But yeah, if you have any comments, questions, feel free to comment on the video or get in touch. My website's still brand new pretty much, but it's bubbadetails.com, and I hope to add some more to that as time goes on. And so we'll keep flourishing, and I hope to see you in the next video of this early days series. Thanks very much, guys.